This weekend, Overeem versus Rozenstruik. Talk to me about that for a second at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, obviously two big monster heavyweights, both guys with unbelievable knockout power. Rozenstruik is 9-0, undefeated. 8 of his 9 wins came by knockout. He's got 7 first-round finishes, and he's going in against Alistair Overeem, who is the number 6 ranked heavyweight in the world, a true vet of the game, has fought everybody in the business. So this is one of those fights where, Alistair is trying to fend off the young, hungry savage who's trying to make his way, build his name, use Alistair Overeem as a stepping stone to get into the top 10, to kickstart his career. And Alistair is trying to fend him off and stay in the top 6 and hopefully take a title run again. That's what this fight is all about.
Talk to me about how you're feeling about the heavyweight division in the UFC right now. Break that down for those of us who don't know how you're feeling about the division, how this division, how elite this division is compared to the other divisions in your sport. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, well, I would say that, in any combat sport, the heavyweight division is always very important, and we're actually in a really good place right now. We got this rematch that both guys want with Stipe and Cormier. You have the absolute monster, Francis Ngannou, waiting in the wings to see who wins and to hopefully get another shot. Curtis Blades, who's a young, bad, tough dude. He's ranked number 3 in the world. Derek Lewis, who, might not ever become heavyweight champion, but he's fun to watch every time he fights. You got Alistair Overeem. We got Alexander Volkanov, who just won in Russia, a big Russian. And the list goes on and on. I mean, our top 10 is nasty.
Dana White, the boss of the UFC, right here with Stephen A., ESPN Radio, ESPN News. Just a week later, this kid Usman versus Colby Covington. Talk to me about that for a second.
Yeah, so this is one of those fights that, obviously people have been waiting for a long time, for the welterweight championship. They hate each other. Stylistically, they match up perfectly because they literally have the same style. Both great wrestlers. I can't remember off the top of my head. I read this stat where Colby Covington has the best, has the highest takedown rate in history, and Usman has 100% takedown defense. He's never been taken down. And so those type of fights, usually these guys end up standing up and banging. And when you think Colby Covington as being a straight wrestler, he just beat Robbie Lawler on his feet. So this is a very fun fight and a very interesting fight stylistically.
Interesting, Dana, and it's just my perspective. I'll leave the expertise to you, obviously, but just as an outsider looking in, loving the sport and continuing to grow in my love for the sport every single week that goes by, I will tell you this. I think the popularity of the UFC is really, really elevating, and I think a lot of it has to do with striking. The fact that we're seeing more knockouts. Of course, the submissions come with it and all of that stuff. We get all of that, but I'm seeing a lot more knockouts than you customarily thought you would see. Have you noticed that at all? And if so, is that something that you've encouraged in overseeing this sport?
No, I don't think I haven't thought about that at all, actually. Okay. The reality is there's been great fights. The fights, when you think about our shows and how many shows we do back to back every week, sometimes 2, 3 a month, right? They're all good. There's great fights. And, I think that's what it is. Yes, these guys go out and they deliver and they put on a show, there's knockouts, there's submissions, there's whatever. But at the end of the day, when you turn off your TV and you stayed home on a Saturday night and didn't do something else, you're walking away satisfied and happy that you stayed home and watched the fights because these guys deliver. They
do deliver, no question about it. And you've got a lot to do with that because you make sure people get the fights that they want to see when they want to see them, which is why I have so much love for you. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.